Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Engineer's Cab's MGT Tips and Tricks, which is what this series is going to end up being called. Now, technically, I've had 2 episodes before this, but they were kind of my, maybe 3 episodes, so let's call it 3, before this one episode, and this is going to be episode number 1 in the series. The previous ones have already been done. One was done on 1,000 meter range, on how to shoot the RPG-7. The other 2 were basically how to deal with the top of my base, which is that corner, a tip on how to build your base, and also a tip on how to build the base at this point right here, which was lifting a ramp. So basically the difference between lifting a ramp and lifting a floor as your safety features. So what we're going to talk about in this video, as the title suggests, is basically how to set up your rangefinder and your Night Stalker for doing ranging. The latest patch, which was done just roughly before May 31st, because I'm recording this on May 31st, the last previous patch, it was a big Exile update, changed the functionality of the rangefinder and the Night Stalker to be more realistic, where you actually have to depress the button to range your target, or what we call sometimes lasing your target for range, or lasing your target for acquisition for bombs. I'm sure that there's a lot of other functions that the laser ranging does and the laser targeting does nowadays, but I won't get into that on this. This is mainly about MGT itself and how the change that Exile made and or slash the server has been made on the servers. Now, on the MGT servers, we do not have thermal in our rangefinders. We only have the ranging option, and we only have the night vision option. Blinded by the light. So on here, it's real critical to really have the ranging and understand how it functions. Now, we've had a lot of questions inside chat over the last couple of weeks, basically asking, well, hey, how do I get the rangefinder to work again? You know, and basically it comes down to the fact of they just changed the functionality, so now you have to bind a special key to it. Now, on the MGT servers, our binded key, or default binded key, is actually our side chat button. Hi, side chat, is what we're going to write. Hi, side chat. And so that's really our button for ranging as a default. So we need to change that. And of course, Kings of the North have to speak up. Hey, they're a great group. Really like them. They're really good people. If you get rated by them, you should be happy. It's like being famous. So, I want to run you through the basics, and then I also want to run you through the simplicity changes that have been made, which may frustrate you. So, as you can notice here, I've moved 2 windows that I had positioned specifically for the Marshal and for the Gorgon, but I moved them down just to show you the outside, because we are standing outside my base, and anything could happen right now, like I get killed. Yeah, so remember, this is unscripted. Things are going to happen. It's a live server. We're looking at downtown Unuka Springs. So, and in fact, you know, hey, you can see one of our old bases over there. There. That is Trip's lovely base. Tripsis is one of the streamers on this group. If we look over there, let's see if I can see it. There's Mazone's base. Way over there is a Dick base made by Debo. That is Bambi's and Sarah Lisa's base. Let me quickly inch up the ranging. We can pump it up to 5,000 here, and we'll take a look over there. So looking way over there, that's Kings of the North. They're probably waving and laughing from the inside. That is Kings of the North, a boat out there, Queen Mary or something like that. I can never remember exactly the name until I get fly over it and get shot down by my own friends. And then off in the distance, I don't know if we can see it from here, it's 5,000 meters away. I can't see it, I don't think. Yeah, Matt's base is way off there in the distance beyond the clouds, obviously over 5,000 meters. I don't think it's going to render in. And then we got 2 bridge bases, one being Chris's over there, one of our Marcinko Jr., and I don't think we can see Tom's base. Oh, there it is, Tom's base right there on the bottom of the bridge. So now I'm going to quickly reduce the distance, mainly because of lag and FPS rating, because as you notice, it tanked to 11 FPS, but now we've increased it. So let's get back into the meat of this. So the couple different things that just happened when when the functionality of the rangefinder and the Night Stalker, as you can see, the Night Stalker's on my Mod 10 here, have been changed to be more in tune with real life. So you actually have to press a button to get your range. As we look here, I mean, I'm depressing my bound button and getting my different ranges as well. Now, when you do the rangefinder common to or in how do you say it? Remember, I'm not scripted, boys, so I'm going this off of the tip of my tongue. When you have your rangefinder and you do your ranging, the Night Stalker will actually update with that ranging as well. So when you press the Night Stalker rangefinding button, it changes and updates to that too as well. So as you notice here, it's already re-updated to 515 meters. Trust me, it has been a godsend because I prefer the metric system over the standard system because, well, one, I've been a CNC machinist and metric is easier to machine than in standard system, and then the conversions really get a pain in the ass. So quickly, we're going to go through right now. Press the escape button while you're in game. Now, if you're out of game, you're just going to go to your options, and then you're going to, in game, you're going to go to configure. Out of game, you're going to go to options, and you're going to go to controls, like we just did here with the controls. And then we're under keyboard settings. You want to select from the drop-down menu weapons, and then you want to scroll down until you get the laser range. And then you want to click on the bounded button. As you can see here, my bounded button is caps lock, and as I explained a little bit earlier, the default bounded button is actually the side chat button that brings up side chat to type in. So on the MGT forums, or excuse me, on the MGT forums, on the MGT servers when you're playing the game, please remember that some of the buttons do not function the same way as they do in the game. So you're going to need to rebind your keys from the side chat button, which is default, and it cannot be changed, by the way. That is done by the server owner, I believe. Actually, Dave or anybody else can answer that in the bottom there and give me replies on how different things can be or cannot be changed. But the easiest way that I've found is to basically rebind your button to a button that you feel comfortable with using. Now, I suggest using it in a more comfortable place. You can put it on your mouse. You can put it anywhere. I just choose caps lock because that's how I play the game. My talk button is also caps lock for TS, but a lot of times you don't even notice me pressing it. So, again, we'll go through this from in-game. Press escape, press configure, go to controls, under the keyboard, select weapons, scroll down until you find laser range, and then select your key. So I'll cancel out of this myself. Also remember, once you've selected that key, remember to press OK and OK to get out. So once again, configure, controls, keyboard, weapons, scroll, select the key, laser range, and then select the key that you want. Then press OK, OK, and then escape. And then you're done. That's particular with the MGT server. Now, when we're doing this outside a game, it's basically the exact same function, except you're going to options, you're going to controls, you're going to keyboard, you're going to weapons, you're going to laser range, you're selecting your key, you're rebinding your key, but remember, also delete the default key so that you don't have double up on keys. Then press OK and OK, and then you're back to the main menu. So there you go. I mean, it's straightforward, easy. So now the next thing I'm going to get into is something that's going to end up coming up on another video. Yeah, there's going to be another video after this. Shake your head, laugh your ass off, puke, eat popcorn. I don't know. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about now the changes to the rangefinder and the Night Stalker based on reinforced windows, and unreinforced windows. And hatches. Yes, hatches. Hatches. Look at that hatch. See that hatch there? It's reinforced because it's a floor port with a reinforcement kit on it. So this is the first thing I want you to imagine and think about with the Night Stalker and even in future applications of other things. And we'll get into that in another video when we do some weapon testing through reinforced windows and non-reinforced windows. But that, again, that's another video. But I want you to treat these reinforced windows with the reinforcement shutters on them and that reinforced floor port with the hatch on it as identical items. They function exactly the same way. They look and work the same way. They also have similar hitboxes and similar things that allow things to pass through them and certain things they don't allow to pass through them. Just remember that. They're both the same. There's no difference. The only difference is their functionality, their size, and their movements. And we'll get into a little bit more on the building side of it later as well. What can be done with them? Because there are some options that some people just don't know anything about. So we're going to come over here and we're going to look through this unreinforced window. So we're going to take out our rangefinder. We're going to look through it. Hey, look at there's a house over there and we need to range it. So it's 634 meters. It definitely, the ranging works, right? Well, we're looking around. We're pressing our range depression at any interval because it doesn't matter. You can press as many times as you want and it will go through the possibilities of where the ranges are. Also, going to the Night Stalker. Now, it's already updated the range, right? But we're now pressing our binded button, and we're getting different ranges all the way around. So, it works, right? Everything seems to be hunky-dory. It's perfect. Well, hey, I decided to reinforce my window, or reinforce my floor port. Now, we're going to look out here. But notice that the Night Stalker is kind of blurry. Hey, I'm pressing the binded button and it's coming out 0. And it's just not working. And, oh, I better switch to my rangefinder because that used to work in a previous patch. No, I'm only getting a meter. Hold on, I'm standing a meter away from it. What the heck? No. It's kind of like when I go to press my button to, well, hey, let's go there and look and let me press my, location button. Oh, look at that. And I'm tracking the target. Come over here. We'll do the same thing. We're tracking the target. And notice it's passing through. But we come over here. And it's not passing through the reinforcement. So, what's the problem? So, whoever in their right mind decided that the physics on the two don't allow for certain things to pass through it. Again, we're going to talk about weapons in the future. Right now, we're just talking about the rangefinder. But basically, the rangefinder and the Night Stalker now do not pass through a reinforced window or reinforced hatch. No, remember, reinforced hatch. And as you can tell, there's kind of a, like when you look through it, it kind of looks like it's an invisible wall in the place. Well, technically, that's what it is. Not much passes through it other than accepted items to pass through. On the unreinforced, there's nothing in the way. It's basically a big hole. And you can do everything you want to do to pass items through it. So when you have the rangefinder, even though it used to pass through and you could range out your targets on the outside, you really cannot do that anymore. And that's the same for floor ports. So, like even with my Nest, I have all those floor ports on the bottom because, well, heck, I want to be able to shoot at different angles. So when you have those floor ports, I won't be able to range it. So I have to be very careful and get better at my shooting and determine how to use my dots on my scopes to determine how far an individual's away, get ranging shots, that kind of stuff. Which makes the job of the sniper out of a base a little bit harder. But that may be the reason why the Germans, as we all hate, left this unreinforced. However, this change came before and after the previous couple videos. So, there you go. I just wanted to give you that information, give you a little bit of an update on what's happened, give you an outside view of my garage, and there you go. A lot of people have been asking, how do you change things? How do you adjust things? Why isn't this working? So from now on, if you don't feel like it, you can tell them, go watch Exeter's video. Well, thanks a lot, folks, and thank you for coming to the Engineer's Cab. I think I will end this video here at this pretty simple subject, and we'll see you on the other side. Good luck to everybody on the server, and I will have the IP and the website down below. And notice how this room's so confusing. It drives me in circles, too. But we will see you on the Engineer's Cab, and thanks for watching again, folks.